gift. All right. Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Mayor Van Johnson.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem and District 5 Alderwoman Dr. Estella Edwards Shabazz.
Present.
Chairman in District 4 Alderman Nick Palumbo.
Present.
Vice Chair in District 3 Alderwoman Linda Wild O'Brien.
It's a beautiful day. Let's go.
Post 1 Alderwoman Carolyn H. Bell.
Present.
Post 2 Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely.
Present.
District 1 Alderwoman Bernetta B. Lanier.
Present.
District 2 Alderman Dietrich Leggett.
Here.
And District 6 Alderman Curtis Pertee.
Present.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Dietrich, you got to say a little something?
It's the mayor's.
Yes.
It's the
Can
mayor's.
you?
Mine? Yes.
You want to say something?
Thank you.
I will introduce
Please
you.
rise.
So today's prayer will be given by.
I call the Savannah City Council to order. The time is 2:02 on March the 27th, 2025. We want to thank everyone for joining us across our various social media platforms on our award-winning SGTV and to the packed house here at our temporary location at our Board of Education. Savannah will be a safe, environmentally healthy, and economically thriving community for all, and all means all. Today's invocator will be introduced by me, and I just realized that. I see Pastor Michael Culprit back there, sir, and so I'm going to press you into service.
Stay ready. Come on down.
So, the Lord always has a ram in the bush.
Always.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us pray. God, we give you thanks and praise for this another beautiful day here in Savannah. For as we say, this is a day you've made, and we rejoice in it. So God, we thank you for this opportunity to be here today for our city council meeting. We thank you for the city of Savannah. God, this is a great city, and we know you have blessed the city over the years, and we ask your blessings upon the city now. We pray for the mayor and the council. We pray for this meeting. We pray that your spirit will dwell here and that the business that will take place will be business that pleases you.
Amen.
So bless us now. Hold our hands, guide our feet, because we don't want to run this race in vain. So hear our prayers, O God, incline thy ear unto us, and grant us your peace. And all of God's children say together,
Amen.
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 Thank
Amen.
you. Let us honor our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Pastor Cover, thank you so much from the Connection Church. Y'all give him a round of applause.
Connection Church is in the 3rd district.
I was absolutely, I did not realize it. And so Pastor Cuthbert, my good friend, stepped in and saved me. And I am quite appreciative of that. Let's move into our agenda.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor.
Good afternoon.
You ready, sir?
Yes.
I would like to make the motion for the first item, and that is, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for March 27, 2025.
Second.
Been probably moved and seconded that we adopt the regular meeting agenda for March 27, 2025. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to make a motion for the next two items, items 2 and 3, for the approval of the minutes of the work session and city manager's briefing held on March 13th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. and for the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting held on March 13th, 2025 at 2:00 p.m.
So moved, sir.
Properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes for the work session and city manager's briefing held on March the 13th, 2025 at 11 a.m. and approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held on March the 13th, 2025 at 2 p.m. You've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I will add that the council had an executive session today to deal with issues related to personnel, litigation, and real estate. The council discussed those items, and no votes were taken to the meeting. I'll entertain a motion to allow me to sign the affidavit attesting to that fact.
So moved, Mr.
Is there
Mayor.
a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Where Savannah meets the sea,
Yes.
where grassy plains and palms abound, where the flowers are gems of loveliness, there SSU is found. We adore its beauty seen in hall, our all we pledge to you. In our hearts we'll build a shrine for you. We hail you, SSU. I believe there's some champions in here. I believe there's some champions
Come
in
on,
here. I'm looking.
champions.
Come on. Y'all give them a big round of applause. This big, impressive piece of hardware not only shows the journey of young men who are not only good athletes, but also good students. And so for those of you who are Savannah State grown like I am, the SIAC means something.
That's right.
And for us to beat Tuskegee, send them on home, was important to us. And so I'm proud to introduce the 2025 SIAC men's basketball champions, the Savannah State University.
Yes. Hold that flag up. There you go.
Coach, if you come up, I have a proclamation to this effect, and it reads as follows. Whereas the Savannah State University Tigers have demonstrated exceptional skill, resilience, and determination throughout the 2025 Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Tournament, and whereas under the leadership of interim head coach Cleveland Thompson, the Tigers secured their second SIAC Tournament Championship since 2022 with a thrilling 67-66 victory over Tuskegee University inside Forbes Arena on the campus of Morehouse College. That even made it even better. And whereas Savannah State showcased remarkable perseverance by overcoming deficits and avenging regular season losses to Spring Hill, Miles, Central State, and Tuskegee, proving their championship medal. And whereas the Tigers executed a pivotal 14-3 run in the final 5 minutes of the championship game, overcoming an 8-point deficit and securing victory with a 66-63 lead in the closing seconds. And whereas the Tigers ended the tournament on an impressive 8-game winning streak, and finishing the season with an 18-11 record, the program's highest win total since the 2012-2013 season.
Come on.
And whereas SSU's historic basketball legacy includes SIAC titles in 1970, 1979, 1980, 1981, 2002, and now 2025, continuing a tradition of athletic excellence and pride for the Savannah State University and the city of Savannah. And whereas the city of Savannah recognizes and celebrates the achievement of the Savannah State University Tigers, their coaching staff, their dedicated student athletes for their extraordinary contributions to the university, the city of Savannah, and the broader Savannah community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Van R. Johnson II, Mayor of the City of Savannah, and a proud alum of the Savannah State University. To hereby proclaim, we're going to give y'all a whole month. March 2025 as Savannah State Tigers Championship Month in Savannah, Georgia, and call upon citizens to join me in celebrating the outstanding accomplishments of the Savannah State University Tigers and their remarkable 2025 SIAC Tournament Championship victory, and witness whereof I've hereto set my hand and caused the great seal of the city of Savannah to be affixed. Now, you didn't call me, Coach. I was ready to come in and help you. You have my number. I could have come in, you know.
We had too many guys on the
Okay, all right. There are too many guys on the roster, but
Thank
Coach,
goodness.
Savannah State is Savannah University.
Yes, sir.
And so for us, come on up here, Opio as well. We're just so proud of our university, so proud of these young men, and we make a big deal of it. Because that means I get to go around the SIAC and talk trash. And that means a lot to me. So congratulations. I know you came in on a short path, but yet you took the talent and made it work. Do it again next year. I dare you. Congratulations.
Good evening, and thank you all for having us. We really appreciate this, and I appreciate this. For me as a coach, I push our guys hard every day, but it's for moments like this where they can reap the benefits of everything they've worked hard for all season. So as much as I appreciate this, I also appreciate our guys being able to just enjoy the fruits of their labor. From all of us here at Savannah State, I want to thank you all for celebrating us and our accomplishments. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Opio Mashariki. I'm the Director of Athletics at Savannah State. It's a proud moment. I bring greetings from our interim president. This is something that we strive for. This is what we want for these young people. Our student athletes came in with a lot of talent, a lot of heart, and a lot of grit. And they was able to move through the conference tournament. Mayor, you kind of alluded to some things, how halfway point. So we definitely want to give a shout out to our former head basketball coach, Horace Broadnax, who started and paved the way and paved the path for this team to be on to ultimately do what they did. And then Coach Thompson came in, brought the best out of our young men, brought the best out of them with his style, his grit. And he's a Savannah State graduate.
Yes, right.
So, there's a lot of things that went on. Was at Bethesda for 20 years. We're happy that he's here with us, and we're happy to celebrate this. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Now, I do have another year of eligibility left. That's what you know that. Let's have these young men introduce themselves, name, hometown, and the position you played.
Austin Lewis, senior from Jacksonville, Florida, and I play shooting guard.
AJ Plain, senior from Melbourne, Florida, and I play point guard.
Come on.
Quay King, senior, and I play forward.
Come on.
Where you from?
Where you from?
MVP, where you from?
Michael Swift, Jacksonville, Florida, sophomore.
Sorry about that. I'm from Dublin, Georgia.
All right.
I'm Javante Landy. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and I play point guard.
Student coach, my name is Randall Moss from Jacksonville, Florida.
All right.
How you doing? Student coach, senior. I'm from Lake City, Florida.
Come on.
All right.
Dan Johnson, point guard.
Mr. Mayor.
All five
On the
positions.
bench.
Again, we're very, very proud of you. It's important for us to be successful at basketball. Opio, we want them also successful in life and successful in the classroom. And so you all are shining examples of what our student athletes should be. You don't never give up, and you come home with the win. So we're proud of you, members of council.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Coach, what district y'all in? I can't hear y'all. All right. Thank you very much. I can sit down now.
And Thunderbolt. And Thunderbolt.
We're talking about the city of Savannah. Right now, 3rd district, right, y'all? I didn't pay them to say that either.
Anybody else?
Yes, Mayor Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
You all have come a very, very long way, and I am so glad to say that I'm so proud of you young men and the accomplishments that you've made, but I'm more so proud of you, Mashariq Opioid. Did I say it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you have a hard job, and you're doing it well, and I appreciate that. And y'all just, there's nothing between you but time, space, and opportunity now. So move forward to greater, bigger, and better things, okay? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Are you going to do both? I mean, you're filming and you're talking?
I'm just doing it all for these young men.
I get you.
I am so proud of you all, and I was with your president last evening, and she was so proud to keep reminding me all last evening that you all were going to be here today at City Council. For one thing, I want to tell you all look so good, so handsome, so just handsome, beautiful young men. I just have to say that off the top, because this right here don't always get on film. That's why I'm holding this camera up, so everybody can see how good you all look. And thank you all so much for the hard work and for this achievement. And also, I hear that you guys are no joke when it comes down to the academics. Keep it up. Your passport to your future is your education, and you all are doing it. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Mr. Mayor.
I think I saw Alderman Bell and Alderman Leggett.
Just congratulations. Where's the coach? There you are, the coach and athletic director, and to the team. You guys have done a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Definitely shout out to Coach Thompson. Watched your transition over the years, and definitely from one championship coach to another. I just want to tell you thank you for the blueprint. To watch you guys as coaches over at Bethesda, you coach my son, and to watch how you manage the young men, you manage them mentally as well as physically. So I thank you for the blueprint of helping us young coaches develop our young people.
Young coaches.
I'm still 28.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I'm just going to say congratulations to all of you young men, and being an athlete is great. We have some former athletes up here, but being a scholar and an athlete is even more, make you even greater. And we try to invest in our young people. We get a lot of the little leaguers who come up here, and they've won local, state, and national championships, and we try to invest into the teams because we know this is where you get your fundamentals. And I'm sure most of you, probably all of you, played Little League ball. So congratulations on you all coming up and to you all reaching this point. And you're here at Savannah State all the time. You can get anywhere from here. And we believe that because you have quite a few of us up here who have been students at Savannah State. And I was in graduate school at Savannah State. All of the Tigers up here, raise your hand and graduate.
Yeah.
So you see what you have here. We're honoring you because we've been there on the campus, and we love Savannah State. So congratulations to you all, and continue to be champions and scholars.
Mr. Mayor, have we, Savannah touched every level of championship this year, right? But from Little League to Pro NFL.
We have. And so for us, this is always a proud time. And please extend our thanks to President Robinson Alexander. I know she's leaving next week, but we appreciate her friendship and partnership with us. And as Alderman Lanier said, you can get anywhere from here. We didn't get as far as we wanted to get in the tournament, but that's going to change next year, right? Right? All right. So we're looking forward. We'll see you in a year.
Guys, that's big.
Make it happen.
All right. Yeah. We gonna do it in here?
Yeah.
All right, y'all come on around. We'll do it right in here.
We want some high fives from them too. Come on.
Oh, great job, Savannah State.
How you doing, sir?
Well, as our city manager, you get to leave.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Congratulations.
We got a couple of inches on you here, but you know, you guys are right at our level here. Yeah. Congratulations. Well done.
Man, how you doing? Good, brother. Good? Yes, sir.
Probably need to go down there with me.
Get up front.
Get up front.
Get up front. Get up front. Get up front. Get up front.
Okay, I don't think we are being seen back here.
Come on up. Move his chair. So good?
Yep. Okay.
Me or him? Me? Okay, I think I'm good.
Why they talking? Third district, yeah. Pieces.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to get that C
Coach, if you need me to come out and run some drills, you know I will. All right. Just a few drills. Ladies and gentlemen, Savannah is such a blessed city, a blessed community. Not only do we have champions in basketball, we have champions in sweet things too. And I'm going to ask the Bird Cookie Company family to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, ooh, yes.
Come on, let's give it up for the floor.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Thank you, I do too. Proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the Bird Cookie Company has been a treasured institution in Savannah, Georgia for a century, 100 years, y'all, bringing joy to countless individuals through its world-famous cookies and unwavering commitment to excellence. Whereas in 1924, Benjamin Tillman Pop Bird Sr., at the age of 28, began baking his famous Scotch oatmeal cookies in a small bakery downtown near City Market and delivered the fresh cookies to stores around town. In his Model T Ford, in 1929, he converted a 10-sided barn into a larger bakery, which he lovingly named Bird's Famous Cookies. And I need my glasses. And whereas in 1945, B.T. Bird, widely known as Cookie, the oldest of Pop's 4 children, took the helm of the growing cookie company. In 1957, demand called for a larger, more modern brick bakery that was completed across the road from the family home. As the regional demand grew, he had the great idea of packing the new bite-sized cookies in custom-printed square metal tins. And whereas in 1988, Benny and Kay Curl purchased the company, Kay being the oldest of Cookie Bird and his wife Florence's children. In 2011, having actively worked in the bakery most of her life, Stephanie Lindley, Kay and Benny's middle child, took the reins. In 2012, Stephanie's son Jamie Lindy joined as director of operations, leading that next generation forward. Whereas for 100 years, Bird Cookie Company has exemplified the values of innovation, quality, and tradition, crafting delicious handcrafted treats that have become a symbol of Southern hospitality. The company's dedication to community engagement, philanthropy, and preserving Savannah's culinary heritage has further solidified its place as a cherished institution. And whereas I don't know what they put in those cookies, but they are so good that I can only have more than one. And whereas the City of Savannah celebrates Bird's Cookie Company's 100th anniversary and honors its remarkable legacy, recognize the hard work and dedication of its leadership and employees, and looks forward to its continued success for generations to come. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Vanner R. Johnson, II, Mayor of the City of Savannah, do hereby celebrate the 100th anniversary, really the 101st anniversary, of the Bird Cookie Company in Savannah, Georgia, and honor the extraordinary, uniquely Savannah institution, and witness whereof I've set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Savannah to be affixed. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the epitome of small business.
Yes.
Here is the epitome of family business. Here is the epitome of perseverance and staying power. And when businesses support Savannah businesses do well. Congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate it. First city council meeting.
Oh, see?
Yeah, she's impressed. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. We have worked hard for 101 years now and are so thankful to be in Savannah. Thank you for the support and the loyalty that you've always shown our company through thick and thin. So we have 4 of our 6 generations here today. So my father being the 3rd, me being the 4th, Jamie being the 5th, and Ellie, my granddaughter, being the 6th generation. So we're excited. I hope that I'll be able to make y'all proud for another 100 years and guide us into our next couple generations. And we brought some cookies for you guys.
Oh, we see you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to share. I've been eating y'all cookies for 60 years. I remember selling cookies for 25 cents for 12. Y'all got anniversary prices from the
The box that's in your bag is an assortment, and in celebration of our anniversary, we're selling it for $19.24.
But listen, y'all have the same. Those oatmeal cookies are beasts.
We're going to start selling oatmeal dough at our Waters Avenue so you can bake it off at home yourself, too. So they'll always be warm in your own
I can sell them myself for 25 cents.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jamie, you know I've been following you ever since you was at Georgia. So thank you guys for the late nights with the cookies over at Memorial working with Dr. Lindley. So thank you guys for all the years that you guys been definitely partners with us in the community. And Nick, you know, they're a 2nd District company too. So we got 2 locations in the 2nd District. So if you ever downtown, go see both locations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to, Ellie's mother,
Grandmother,
where's her mother?
right here.
That's what I thought.
My
Now,
daughter-in-law,
for history's sake, because in the next 20 years, 25 years, she's going to be standing to the mic, okay?
Yeah.
So I would like for Ellie's mother
Yeah.
to come and get in this shot.
Absolutely.
So she can go down in history with all of this. Yes.
Mr. Mayor.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Alderwoman said 60 years she's been a customer and a fan, and I think I've been longer. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you. I think I remember 2 for a penny cookies. How about that? And the big clear jugs used to sit at the stores,
That's
2 for a
right.
penny with the ridges in them. So I'm going back a long ways. But you all have been a great local business, and it's good that people come to this town and they look to find the Bird Cookie outlet. And I remember the Ferguson Avenue. So you know I'm going all the way back. I appreciate you all. I'm a huge fan. You all were placing the oatmeal cookies in the end market, and you stopped. So you got me driving around to all the end markets looking for the cookies. But congratulations on your anniversary.
It's in the Sky Club. Your cookies are in the Sky Club in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yes, they're good.
And when they're here in Savannah,
Oh, we
when
get that. They
they're
take
out,
care of us.
he texts me and he's like,
There was a crisis. I got to Savannah Airport and they said they didn't have any cookies. I was like, what do you mean you don't have any cookies? We haven't had cookies in weeks. It was an emergency.
Yes, it was.
I almost declared a special emergency, but the cookies got there real quick, though.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
I just want to say congratulations on celebrating 101 years, and I pray that you all are able to celebrate another 101 years. You look good. Them cookies doing you real good, and they're going to do you real good in a minute when we leave here. Congratulations.
Just congratulations. This is a special moment. And thank you all for all that you've done for Savannah. Sounds like you've made people very happy.
They're in here.
All the bird cookies are sugar-free, gluten-free, everything. I mean, just as much as you want to. But I want to say this because they're also great corporate partners.
Yes.
They're generous to our community. There are causes that they support that many of us don't know about, but somehow or another, whenever our community is called upon them, their staying power allows them to continue to help us. So buy bird cookies. Again, they're all sugar-free. Have as many, and you can't really be mad eating I like chocolate chip personally, so you can't be mad eating a chocolate chip cookie. So I might eat some today, depending on how it goes. But congratulations, 100 more.
We appreciate it.
We need some cookies in the 3rd district.
Well,
Open
they've
up
been
shop.
expanding, so you have locations. You have three locations here, Stephanie?
Stephanie.
There's 5 stores here.
5, where are they?
4 downtown, City Market.
That's right.
Waters Avenue.
Riverside, Broad, and then the flagship on Waters where the factory is.
That's right.
We need cookies in the
Maybe at
3rd
the end, when
district.
we get finished, when City Hall gets finished, maybe we have another location in City Hall.
3rd district.
Never knows, right? Well, thank you all so much, and thank you for the hat.
Good help.
I will.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, also as you entered today, you heard some amazing young people playing their hearts out, which tells us that the Savannah Music Festival is on deck. And so we're excited for this festival that is not only great for our locals, but great for people visiting our city. We'll ask Gene Bradford Dobbs to come up and introduce this year's festival.
Okay, Gene, you have candy, right?
What's that?
Yeah, I have something,
candy.
man. We just brought the music. Yeah. So this is it's such a treat to see you all. I'm Gene Dobbs Bradford, the executive director of the Savannah Music Festival, and this year's festival is going to be our best ever.
All right.
You all know the Savannah Music Festival is Georgia's largest cultural arts event. It brings people from 40% of the people who are coming to the festival are coming from outside of Savannah. So it brings a lot of people here. Generates over $9 million in direct spending, and $6 million of that is coming from those from visitor spending, and it generates about $700,000 in tax revenue. So that's not too bad, and we appreciate the support that we've gotten from the city of Savannah, who help us with keeping streets quiet so that we can record concerts at Trinity United Methodist Church. The festival is unique in that it is a multi-genre festival. We have classical music, we have jazz, we have American roots music, which includes everything from blues, bluegrass, zydeco, country, folk, whatever. And we also have artists from around the globe coming. I think the only continent that's not represented is Antarctica this year. So we're working on that. But we encourage you all to come out. We hope that you will come, and especially with our international artists. We take a lot of time to make sure that these artists are the best in the world. And when you come out and give them a try, maybe there's somebody that you haven't heard, then you're going to discover your new favorite band. So we have just a few highlights. We have folks like Branford Marcellus, Angelique Kidjo, Marcus King, Jason Isbell. We have Lakeisha Benjamin and India Owens, 2 fantastic young female jazz musicians. It's a world of music for our city, and we hope that the city will come out and support and enjoy, because nothing brings us together like the power of music. And we're so grateful for you all for your support, and we can hardly wait to get on. We have shows tonight, so I'm going to have to run after this, but I'm looking forward to welcoming Savannah back to the Savannah Music Festival.
Mr. Gene.
Yes.
Can you tell them what district y'all practicing?
Oh, come on.
3rd district.
But it goes down. It goes down in a second.
What's that?
It goes down in
It
a
goes
second.
down, well, but which district is Victory North in?
Second district.
Second district, yeah. So we are.
Hello.
Oh, by the way,
Thank you, neighbor.
and we also want to mention that we do have you heard our Jazz Academy. A Jazz Academy brass band out playing beforehand, bringing a little New Orleans celebration here. That's one of our free programs that we offer, and most of the kids in the program are students from Savannah, Chatham County Public Schools, and we also have our Musical Explorers program, which will be taking place in May, and we hope that you'll come out for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go, Gene.
So
Gene, thank you
support Savannah's Music Festival. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Gene, thank you so much for your service. I want you all to join me for the Zydeco Dance Party, April 5th at the Ships of the Sea Museum at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'll see you there.
Nick Palumbo is a frequent participant, and if you need any instructions on how to dance for the dance party, just talk to Nick.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my! Well, we'll be looking. We might send a video crew over for that one.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Gene. Thank you for your work, and obviously it's a big undertaking. The city of Savannah considers us blessed to have the Savannah Music Festival, not only bearing our name, but occurring as a benefit for our entire community. So thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I just want to say that we already have our tickets for Branford Marcello's. We'll be in the house.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And finally, I have an award actually that I was supposed to, I took it, and I'm just going to take a moment of mayoral privilege to deliver. This is the Environmental Justice Pioneer Award, and it was presented by Dr. Mildred McLean and Harambe House, and it was presented to someone for their invaluable contributions to the fight for protected communities in Mother Earth, Linda Wilder Bryant.
Oh, wow.
You left too early.
All right.
Linda.
Go back.
Linda.
Huh?
You left the luncheon too early.
Oh, yeah, I had to go take care of my mom. Thank you. I'm gonna stop putting D in front of the 3rd district.
Go back. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get you close. I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to rock and roll. So let's go to alcohol license hearings items. Well, before I do that, let me just cut to the chase. Let's go to the Airport Commission.
Yes, sir.
Items number 26 through 41.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if there are no, I would like to make a motion for the approval of the airport items number 26 through 41.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve items under the Airport Commission, items number 26 through 41. 26 is the approval of catering services by the SERG Group for the 2025 RBC Heritage in the amount of $35,037. Item number 27 is the approval to purchase 2 all-terrain vehicles from Verdi Incorporated in the amount of $79,990. Item number 28 is approval to procure emergency vehicle equipment and installation from ProLogic ITS LLC in the amount not to exceed $55,000. Item number 29 is approval to procure taxiway light fixtures and connection kits from Allen Enterprises in the amount of $37,240. Item number 30 is approval to execute a contract with Right Light Signs for all services associated with the Terminal Roadway Signage Project in the amount of $372,553. Item number 31 is approval of a 3-year frequent Parker program service agreement with R Solutions in the amount of $360,000. Item number 32, approval to purchase a garbage truck, from Roberts Truck Center in the amount of $93,599. Item number 33, approval of a 3-year license subscription for M-Files document management system for Laminum Systems Solutions in the amount of $83,226. Item number 34, approval to purchase 4 portable message boards from K&K Systems Incorporated in the amount of $60,000. 35, approval to purchase one pavement line striping system, ride-on driver, and scarifier system from Chaves Brothers Management LLC in the amount of $37,904. Item number 36, approval to purchase one commercial lawn spray rig from Site One Landscape Supply in the amount of $27,433. Item number 37, approval of change order number 3 with EE Reconstruction for design modifications to Building 2, the air cargo facility in the amount of $1,605,000. Item number 38, approval of the 2025-2026 Airport Liability Insurance Program with Sterling Seacrest Pritchard in the amount of $1,132,941. Item number 39, approval to execute an elevator and escalator preventative maintenance agreement with Elevated Facility Services in the amount of $758,869. Item number 40, approval to procure services from Brooks Building Solutions to upgrade the building automation software and global controllers in the amount of $250,000. And item number 41, approval to execute a contract for professional services with Club Choice Ireland Limited in the amount not to exceed $40,000. Whoosh. You've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. Now back to alcohol license hearings. We have items 7 through 12 on here. Is there any pullout? Are there any pullouts? Going once, going twice. Okay. Item number 7 is approval of a Class C beer and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sale to Christopher Moody of Baby's General Store, a restaurant at 410 East 37th Street in Automatic District 2. Item number 8, approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license for Sunday sales to Richard Kessler of Foley House Inn, an inn at 14 West Hull Street in Automatic District 2. Item number 9, approval of a Class B beer manufacturer alcohol license to Elizabeth Massey for the Laundry Diner, a restaurant located at 1401 Paulson Street in Automatic District 2. Item number 10, is approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink alcohol license to Michael Watts for Joe and Vera's at 23 West Broughton Street, a restaurant in District 2. Item number 11, approval of a Class C liquor, beer, and wine by the drink and Class E beer, wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Brian Cornelius for AC Hotel, Savannah Historic District, a hotel located at 601 East River Street in District 2. And item number 12 is approval of a Class C beer and wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Jian Ren for Shu Hot Pot Korean Barbecue, a restaurant at 20 Easter Ren Avenue in District 4. This is a public hearing that I've now declared open. Does anyone have anything against any of these items? Speak now, forever hold thy peace. Going once. Going twice. 3 times.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I ask that we close the hearing.
Second.
Been probably moved and seconded that we close these hearings. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I ask that we approve the Class C beer, wine by the drink, alcohol license with Sunday sales to Christopher Moody at Baby's General Store and Restaurant.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I ask that we approve the Class C liquor, beer, wine by the drink, alcohol license with Sunday sales to Richard Kessler for Foley House Inn, an inn at 14 West Hull Street, sir.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 9, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir. Approval of a Class B beer manufacturer alcohol license to Elizabeth Massey for Laundry Diner at restaurant located at 1401 Paulson Street.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I ask that we approve the Class C liquor, beer, wine by the drink, alcohol license to Michael Watts for Joe and Vera's at 23 West Broughton Street, sir.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11, Alderman Leggett.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I ask that we approve of the Class C liquor, beer, wine by the drink, and Class E beer, wine by the package alcohol license with Sunday sales to Brian Cornelius for AC Hotel, Savannah Historic District.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 12, not Alderman Leggett, Alderman Palumbo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move for the approval of a Class C beer, wine by the drink alcohol license with Sunday sales to Gian Ren for Shoe Hot Pot Korean Barbecue.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all very much. Y'all go forth. Be great. Look happy about it, though. Yeah, there we go. All right. 13, under zoning hearings, the petition of one or more agent on behalf of W.J. Moore Properties, LLC, and Joakima Davis Moore, J.W. Moore Properties, LLC, to amend the future land use map from residential single-family to traditional commercial for less than 0.21 acres at 1421 West Gwinnett Street and 1425 West Gwinnett Street in Automatic District 1. I believe 13 and 14 are related. So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and the council members. I am Subhash Karunaratna, a planner from Development Services and Current Planning at MPC. And today I'm going to present the staff findings and recommendations for these two petitions. The presentation, I'm going to conduct it as one whole presentation, but the voting should happen as two separate things.
Well, let me just go ahead and I'll read the other one into the record. Item number 14 will be petition of one or more agent on behalf of W.J. Moore Properties, LLC, and Joakima Davis Moore, W.J. Moore Properties, LLC, to amend the zoning map from TR2 Traditional Residential 2 to Traditional Commercial 1, or TC1, with conditions for 0.21 acres at 1421 West Gwinnett and 1425 West Gwinnett in Automatic District 1.
Thank you, sir. So on the screen, you can see the map that shows the subject parcels. The L-shaped parcel was originally owned by the owner, and the square parcel on the corner was recently acquired by him from the city. And for these two parcels, the petitioner is requesting an amendment to the future land use map from residential single family to traditional commercial. And the second request is to rezone the properties from traditional residential 2 to traditional commercial 1. And here on this map, you can see the subject parcel in relation to I-16 and the in-market arena. The current future land use designation of the property is single-family residential single-family. You can see that in the yellow. And these flume designations typically only permit detached single-family homes. And on the north, across the Gwinnett Street, you can see a row of light red colored parcels. Those are flume designated as commercial neighborhood, and these parcels have been there since 40, 60 years when we check the Sanborn maps. And the existing zoning here is TR2, that is traditional residential 2. And on either side of the parcels, there are areas zoned as neighborhood business and limited business. The subject property belongs to urban transitional character area as listed in the comprehensive plan. These areas are also called urban edge areas, where the primary uses are attached and detached residential, and secondary uses are commercial, civic, and institutional. The requested flume designation of traditional commercial is quite well supported in this character area because the flume designation allows walkable, neighborhood-friendly, multi-tenant retail uses, and the MPC staff finds that the proposed multi-tenant commercial uses are a good fit for the existing character area, and the proposed flume designation could be, and that change could be a nucleus for organic growth of a commercial node, which will be very helpful for the neighborhood. The proposed amendment is also consistent with some of the goals established in the comprehensive plan, which are economic development goals 2 and 5, to foster environments that provide business opportunities and build communities with economically vibrant, safe neighborhoods and commercial centers, and land use goal of ensuring the zoning ordinance provide for pedestrian-oriented mixed-use development. Based on these findings, the MPC staff recommends approval of the requested Flume amendment. Moving on to the zoning map, this is again the aerial view from a different angle. You can see the subject parcel down in the middle. And this is an image of the site, and the structure in blue is the existing over-under duplex that will be utilized for multi-tenant commercial building. And the site also have 2 accessory structures in the back. And this is another view of that site. And here outlined are the proposed uses on the site, which are office uses, food-oriented retail, general services, catering establishments, and personal service shop and restaurants. And all these outlined uses are permitted under the requested TC1 zoning. However, along with the outlined uses, there are many other commercial uses allowed in TC1, which could be rather intense for this location as it adjoins some residences. This is the conceptual site plan with the primary and accessory structures in the back and parking for the proposed uses. Since this is a conceptual site plan, this is required to go through the site plan review, and during that process, there could be modifications to this plan to meet certain standards or variances of some standards. And this is a view of the conceptual floor plans, first floor and the second floor. And with that, the MPC staff recommends approval of the rezoning request to change the zoning from TR2 to TC1 with the following conditions. Allowed uses on the property shall be limited to those allowed as permitted, limited, and special uses in TN3 district and as regulated by the use standards in Article 8.0 applicable for TN districts. And the provision of Section 5.12.8D shall not apply. This provision states that, you can see it at the very bottom of the slide, this provision states that the buildings originally constructed for a residential use shall not be converted into a non-residential use. And this condition is in place to allow the commercial uses that are not very intense, that would disrupt the residential areas, and to make sure the provision of that I mentioned above is not a hindrance to the commercial redevelopment. And the second condition is applicable if the requested zoning district is approved today. Development of the site shall be consistent with the conceptual plan submitted and reviewed in association with the petition for a zoning map amendment. Future development of the site for any other use shall require MPC review and approval of a general development plan. And if a future petitioner decides to amend the conditions for the uses on the site, which are from the TN3 use table you see here, that will require to come back to the City Council for the amendment. And that concludes the presentation, and I have the 2 recommendations up on the screen. Happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing regarding these items. I have, is it Rose Cody? Okay. All right, so you come up, you give your name, you have 2 minutes, and we will...
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Rose Cody, and I live at 814 Bowden Street, about the area they're talking about about the bin in West Gwinnett Street, how you're going to do. And I want to know, how much are you planning to offer us for our property if you're going to come up that far? Or how far do you plan on coming up Bowden Street?
Well, we're not offering anything. Mr. Manager, I don't know if you wanted to.
Can you clarify your question for me? I'm sorry. Can you ask your question again?
Yes.
Yes, so I can better understand it.
If you decide to come up Bowden Street, what are you planning to offer us dollars and cents?
Could you go back? Can you go back to the showing her the lot? I think she's misunderstanding about the lot. It's just the corner lot that already exists right there. Go back to the other one. No. Where? Go one more, two more. Right there.
Okay. That's the one that was built recently.
Right, see, Bowden, you're on the next block over.
Yes.
Right, this is on the corner of West Gwinnett and Allen Street.
Where's Bowden? Right there. Right here. This is the
You're on
corner.
you're on that first block of Bowden Street.
The 814.
You're halfway down the street.
Oh, just right. And I'm on Bowden.
Yeah, so these are the only parcels. Right, you're one street over.
Down by the park.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so they're not concerned about us in there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you two
Thank
doors down from the
Thank
church,
you.
right?
Thank you. I got my answer.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rosa.
Any other questions? I see Mr. Moore, I guess Mr. Moore is the petitioner, so we'll let him reserve his right to speak. Anyone else have anything to get on this item? Going once? Going twice?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I move that we close the hearing.
Second.
Been probably moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I do have a question. Okay. My question is, I noticed if you go back to the uses, I saw a restaurant. I'm asked. I want to know about alcohol.
Yes, sir. The uses are not fully determined, so there might be changes based on the site plan and the review process. And if we are limiting them to TN3 use table, as you see here, and everything that falls under for alcohol use restrictions are applicable.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, in section 5.12.8, additional requirements applicable to the traditional neighborhood districts, Roman number 5 says principal use dwelling shall be a minimum of 450 square feet. What is the maximum?
I don't have the answer on top of my head. May I check that?
You can.
Okay.
Any other
The maximum would likely be whatever the lot size would be able to accommodate when you factor in any kind of setback requirements and other FAR requirements based on the size of the lot.
Can we go back to the picture, if that's possible? Because that looks rather small.
It is.
It looks very small.
But actually, I remember there was 2 houses, I believe, on there when we were coming up.
I have a question too, Mr. Mayor.
While she's researching, go ahead with your question.
Yes, please. While she's researching, okay. When we do these agreements, and part of your recommendations, Mr. City Manager, you recommend approval for this. As part of your recommendations, can you go back to the screen that had the last screen? I think it's D, right here. TN3, building originally constructed for residential use shall not be converted into a non-residential use. That's on paper. Do we have any type of agreements with that? Because I've been sitting on council and watching from the gallery where people buy property, and then 4 or 5 years later, it's something else that we didn't approve. Is there anything, I didn't see it in the summary, but there is a relationship.
Alderwoman, that's a great question, and it's like, I think that actual clause is pretty key to the recommendation that NPC staff and NPC commission had for this property, and which is why they're recommending a zoning, a different zoning, a TC zone, a traditional commercial zone, but adopting the uses of a TN zone, a traditional neighborhood zone, because the TC zone, which I learned this morning from NPC, has a clause that does not allow the clause that you just read.
Yes, sir.
Any building currently used as a residential could not be converted to a non-residential use.
Yeah,
The
I get that.
petitioner intends to use these for non-residential uses.
But what if the petitioner
and-
sells it to somebody else?
Well,
still
and
bound by it.
then,
What's that, sir?
but that's exactly what, I want to be clear on what the
I want you to be
NPC
clear, sir.
recommendation is. NPC recommendation is they want to adopt the TC zone, which would mean that
Forever and ever?
residential units could be converted to a commercial use. But they want to limit those uses. They don't want to have all of the uses that are allowed for in a traditional commercial use, because there are some uses that are allowed in that zone that NPC does not feel is compatible with the neighborhood. So they want to limit the use table to those uses that are in the TN, which is traditional neighborhood zone, which is a less intensive use, but allows the property and any subsequent property owners to have either residential or commercial uses, irrespective of what the current use is. I want to check that I'm correct on that
Please.
explanation. I've got the nod of approval from our professional planners.
Ma'am, I have the answer for your
Okay,
question.
before
It's-
we go
oh,
to that one, so these recommendations that you have on paper, I get that. It's a recommendation. But, and I understand what you just said, changing it to that. But these packets should include that based on today's date, there is a recommendation, but should it not have an agreement in there, some kind of clause? Because if somebody sells this property, they have a right to come and say that we're going to petition it for something else. But they don't have a right to come to say if there's something that, Mr. Bates, can you answer that? That they can't come to the agenda because it's nothing that they can negotiate because of the ruling that they're voting for today.
Well, I
Can you
believe
clarify
they,
that
I believe
for
they
me?
have the right to
Oh,
petition.
that's what I'm saying, you have a right,
Yeah.
but,
I think y'all are saying the same thing.
okay.
Yes, ma'am, the zoning restrictions, if approved with conditions, would restrict the property. If a subsequent owner comes and buys it, they could come back and ask council, hey, the reasons have changed, the neighborhood has changed, can I change it up? And then council has the authority to say yes or no to that.
Yeah, it's not perpetual.
And I think, again, just kind of the importance of knowing that the zoning, we should consider zoning apart from the current planned project, right? Because the zone could very well live with that parcel well beyond the use that's, intended for it in the next, 5 to 10 years, right? So we want to make sure that for our best knowledge and for the, the furthest we can look into the future, that this is the most appropriate zone for this parcel of land and for this neighborhood.
I agree with that, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Did
you
you
for clarification.
did you have a question, answer for Alderman? Yeah.
Yes, for
Go back to the picture, please.
this one.
No.
The physical picture, yes.
So the building footprint maximum is 5,500 square feet.
Let me remind council, this is, and I'm very familiar, obviously, my growing up place in Savannah was a block over from that, well, 2 blocks on Carter Street. This corner has been in disrepair for quite some time. And so the council, if I remember correctly, petitioner asked for it to be declared surplus, to be able to combine it with an adjoining lot. And so this is kind of the natural progression of that. Any other questions from council?
Mayor Johnson, are they going to tear the existing structure down?
No, I think it's built
No.
that. They just built that.
Mayor Johnson, it's a new structure. We're talking about the lot next to the structure for parking. So he needed to acquire some space for parking, and that's why the city sold him that property. But like Mayor Johnson said, the area on the curb is in a little disrepair, but the community and the leadership has spent considerable time with Mr. Warner and making sure that this works for the community. And so what they're really trying to do is reestablish a pattern that was on that corner years ago that was retail and commercial. They got some history in there of some famous artists performing right there in that curb. So everybody was on board, and I'm glad the Bowden Street resident came down because we made sure that it wasn't going to be something that was going to inhibit or interfere with any residences that's already in place. And it's actually right there next to the church. It's another business coming soon, very similar to this, and it's already zoned for that. But so that's the pattern. So no one had any problems with what's being presented, but we need to have these questions answered, of course.
And further, be able to develop really community-based opportunities that are conducive to the neighborhoods that's surrounding them. Is there anything else regarding this item from council? Okay. All right. So let's move to item number 15. Now, they're asking for it to be on first and second reading. So, Alderwoman Lanier?
You said they're asking for?
First and second.
Okay, all right. So I'd like to make a motion that the first reading be considered the second reading and the passage placed upon the passage and passed for number 15, the petition of Mr. Warner Moore, agent on behalf of W.J. Moore Properties, LLC. And
Second.
Jacqueline Davis Moore.
Been properly moved and seconded that the first reading be considered the second is on its place upon its passage and pass. Item number 15, you've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 16, Alderwoman Lanier.
Yes, in reference to number 16, the petition of Mr. Warner Moore, agent on behalf of W.J. Moore Properties and Joaquima Davis Moore, J.W. Moore Properties, I'd like to make a motion that the first reading be considered the second reading and the ordinance placed upon its passage and pass.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Moore, do the right thing now. All right. Item number 17, joint petition of Bridget Liddy on behalf of the mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah, Georgia, and Brianna Paxton for a zoning text amendment to section 3.12, special exceptions, 3.21, variances, 5.4, principal use tables, 5.9, traditional residential districts, 5.12, traditional neighborhood districts, 5.13, traditional districts, 8.1, residential use standards for limited and special uses. I believe we've held a hearing on this. This is just time for council action as it relates to this.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Mayor,
I move
Mr.
for
Mayor, I need to
approval of
carry
the-
this because we've done a lot of work on this, and yesterday I was in the meeting on this, and so I have information on this. So I need to deal with this. Nick, I got this. Thank you. Okay, so.
Wait. Chair recognizes Alderman Palumbo.
Mr. Mayor,
Now,
Mr. Mayor.
One moment.
We had a long
I
meeting
understand
yesterday,
that, but I
phone
mean,
calls,
all right,
texts,
but-
Zooms
all right,
on this same
all right,
thing, and he doesn't
but-
know this.
all
He
right,
wasn't there.
All right, allow me to handle this.
Okay.
She's asking to be able to, well, I won't even ask to carry it. If there are questions about it, or comments, we'll do that. So I'll go to you, Alderwoman Lanier.
Uh-oh.
Don't scare me.
We need some tissue over here by the computer, yeah. We need some tissue.
Here.
That's okay.
Some heavier, some.
Oh, we got it.
While y'all getting together, I'm taking the unusual step. Pastor Colbert is here and Reverend Claire. Y'all want to come up and say hello? We'll go ahead and let you do that. Yeah, because they're making a mess. And so while they're cleaning up the mess, I'm going to turn the camera from us on to you all. If you want to make some very brief comments, I know you all have been engaged in this work. So we have a major spill going on.
We do have some comments to make on this issue. We're here representing 23 congregations who are concerned about the deficit of housing in our community, and we are strong supporters of this zoning text amendment. We feel that it is robust enough to make a difference and a dent in providing more housing, attainable housing for our residents, and yet it is moderate enough that it will not affect the overall character and quality of life in our city.
We appreciate your support as we try to encourage everyone. We want everyone to have affordable housing where all persons can live in Savannah and enjoy being in Savannah, and that's what we're striving to achieve through Justice Unites Savannah together.
And the church said, amen. All right, Alderwoman Lanier.
Yes, sir. Thank you. First of all, let me say this. We want to make this work. It's time to move it forward, and we want to make sure that Ms. Paxton get what she came to get, okay? But however, there's some more people involved with this other than Ms. Paxton. So we're trying to find something that will work for most of the people involved. And I'm going to need some help with this, Mr. Manager, to make sure that this could work the way I was sent to deal with it. Let me go to where we are here. What we'd like to do at this time is structure this where we could move forward with Ms. Paxton's request. We know you made some adjustments and dealt with the Carver Village issue temporarily, and it's not included, and the Tyler Brownsville, and it's not included here. Thank you for that. We had some other areas we were looking at, and we haven't been able to work that out yet, Mr. Mayor, and they have already committed to doing the work, and staff has met yesterday with some leadership from the area, and there was more questions than answers. So what we probably need to do, I have the text here, and we're working on this text amendment, but we need to remove R6 until we can have these series of meetings.
Remove what?
R6, until we have these series of meetings that staff has planned and that the residents are expecting so they can get to a resolve. So how could we move this forward so Ms. Paxton could get what she came for when holding back on the R6 so the residents who live in those areas could continue the discussions and the due diligence?
Mr. Manager, what's your recommendation?
Referring to the memo that we sent last week and resent on Tuesday about how we propose to move forward based on the feedback that we heard from City Council and from the public in November when we held the hearing, the first hearing. Currently before you is a text amendment, which includes specific parameters in which we could add general density to certain districts based on the lot size and the area of those specific parcels within those districts. This is just a text amendment. As I said in my memo, we're going to have to come back with an overlay. So the overlay further depicts the geographic area specifically where any of these programs would be eligible to receive density. So right now in the text amendment, there are 3 zoning districts where we presuppose that affordable housing density programs could be eligible based on the affordable housing overlay district to follow up in the next few council meetings. Those districts are the traditional districts that are found in the Victorian neighborhoods and south to Victory Drive and bordered on each side from MLK to Broad Street. We have eliminated the traditional districts or will eliminate the traditional districts in the proposed overlay map that include Kyler Brownsville and Carver Village because of some of the concerns we've heard in those neighborhoods. We did add RSF 6 because of the comments made in November.
Wait a minute, hold up. I thought the concerns were that they were not involved and they wanted the opportunity to be considered.
They've been involved. We have done extensive community engagement. And at this point, we have not found concurrence with the neighborhood associations to move forward. If council would like to include those neighborhoods now, we can do that when we draw the map. But let me talk about the 2 steps.
Okay.
First step is the text amendment, which is proposed today. That text amendment describes a affordable housing density bonus program and regime that would allow property owners to be able to build and add additional units in parcels and properties where that's appropriate, right? And the proposed text amendment goes through how that would be appropriate in each of the 3 zoning districts that we looked at, which includes RSF 6. So we can look through that, but essentially what that does is allow a limited use for adding additional units to parcels where we can add an additional unit or 2. In the case of an RSF 6 district, you specifically, this ordinance would allow, if the map included an RSF 6 district, does not have to include an RSF 6 district, that you could have a duplex, either side by side or over or under, so long as that each unit has at least 2,500 square feet or so. So right now we're asking council to adopt a text amendment which creates in text the existence of a future overlay map, which I've also shared with you the proposed map in the memo, is in the items here, that would create the ability for us to do housing and affordable housing programs underneath that overlay district, to include this housing density program, to include inclusionary zoning, which will be coming up next. But the map will define the area where these housing density programs will be allowed. The text provides the specifics for the districts within that map, how property owners would go about understanding whether or not their property is eligible to add more units or not, and what the process would be to add that unit, whether or not they would be able to do it by right, or whether they would need to seek limited use or a variance underneath that.
So ultimately, you're drawing the picture, and then the overlay will color it in, essentially.
Yes.
So we can move forward.
We can move forward, and no neighborhood will be impacted with this vote.
Right.
The next vote we take, which defines the map, those will be the
Provides
neighborhoods.
time for whatever.
Those will be the neighborhoods that will be affected. This text amendment lays out the criteria. The map, which comes next, lays out the geographic area.
But Mr. Mayor, let me say this, the next time we do the map, what happens in those neighborhoods that's included on the map is going to be contingent upon this text that we're passing today. And the residents had problems with the text, for instance. Of course, in some of the areas we want to discuss duplexes, because we have a plethora of duplexes in these areas that we don't have a way of dealing with them. Like the people downtown say, we have outlawed what's on the ground. Because right now I got 3 duplexes on my street, now on 1, but at the same time we can't do anything with them, and they're sitting going into disrepair because the codes don't line up with what people desire to do.
Right, stop.
Let me say this,
Hold
Mr.
on,
Mayor.
Mr. Manager, address that point
But let me
right
say
there.
this, to add this to it. The new duplexes that could be built based on this text will give the developer opportunity to cut the setback in half, and they had a fit about that, because now they're picturing a bunch of duplexes on these residential lots that's not like the pattern of a few here and there sprinkled into single-family houses. So we didn't want to change the nature of these communities and needed some more language. Like, we had a question in the meeting yesterday about could there be some language about not constructing one duplex next to another in a traditional single family. None of those could be answered because they told us that was a legal question. So it's not ready yet for the R6 people. It might be ready for Ms. Paxson, and we don't want to stop that. We want her to have, which they have done the work, the due diligence, they've been working on this. These other people have not. And I'm just trying to make sure that we have opportunity. This is going to be long-lasting. A pattern that was on the ground, duplexes and single-family houses that has worked to keep people in communities, has accommodated density, affordable housing. We're about to make some changes there that's going to be very impactful. I'm just trying to make sure we get it right, because there's so many questions in the last couple of days, so many meetings, so many Zooms. People just don't understand. And they were told that some MPC signs will be erected in the neighborhoods as maybe as soon as today or tomorrow. They had a fit about that. It's something that's going to require a door-to-door outreach so people could really come and get the information. And what we do next with the map is contingent upon this text today. They're ready to move downtown. Nobody don't want to stop what they're trying to do, because it's a good thing, the duplexes in that area. We just want to make sure that we are as confident in how that will work for the R6 folks in the other areas.
Mr. Manager?
Well, 2 things. I think the thrust of the revised proposal is that it was clear when we workshopped this, or we heard the hearing in November, that there was more work needed to be done. This is really difficult work. We're not going to find 100% consensus on adding density as a way to solve the housing unit crisis. But I think that starting somewhere is better than not starting at all. So if the council is comfortable with moving forward with only the traditional districts in the zoning amendment, I think that that's where we should go forward, and we can draw a map that corresponds with that and grow the program over time as people learn more about it, as people understand more about it, and can kind of wrap their hands around what it means for them in their neighborhoods. I will say, and I want this to be really clear, when we talk about housing density bonus programs, it means things like reducing setbacks. It means things like being able to have more building on a lot of land than would normally be allowed without the affordability limited use, right? So you've got to consider that that's what you're giving in order to get, right? So that's to add more density, you're going to add more density. There's going to be more of the housing that's there than isn't there, and that's what we're trying to actually produce with this housing density program. So I would recommend that we start with whatever we're comfortable with, starting with today and approving today, and the map will reflect that, and we will have the map hearings here in the next few council meetings.
All right, let me say this, then I see Alderwoman Wilder Bryan, Alderwoman Blakely, then Alderwoman Bell. First of all, we're not leaving this meeting without moving forward on this in some way or another. My confusion is that when it initially started off with Ms. Paxton, we thought we had a path forward. And then it was say, well, no, we want to be included too, and it grew. Now I'm hearing, well, no, we don't want to grow, and it's going back to where we were. And I'm just saying, it was November when we had the hearing. Now it's March. March, then it's August, then it's next year. I mean, I caution council that there is a paralysis of analysis that occurs by thinking about and doing nothing. So whatever it is, we know that the path to affordability is density. We are told that. The contemporary literature says that. It's just the way, and we're going to have to change the way we do business in order to achieve that. Now, I thought what was requested was that we need to be more inclusive so that everyone could take advantage of the opportunities that the density provided. So that's why I thought we waited, because we were trying to find ways to bring more people in. But now I'm hearing, no, we don't, or not now. And so I just caution council, we should not let another day go by that we leave here and we don't have something adopted. Alderwoman Wilder Bryan.
First, she said she had something to finish.
Well, no, go ahead. We'll come around to you.
I have a question. And my question is, in this summary, it says, an accompanying zoning map amendment to formally establish the Affordable Housing Overlay District will be presented to City Council in April. March is gone. Why can't we just wait to April so that there is no confusion? Because the precedent is whatever she gets in that district, Ms. Paxton, then if it's not in that overlay district, somebody's going to come to me or one of them and say, she got it, why we can't get it. If we're going to wait until April, why can't we vote in April so that it's just one swoop of the thing so that Ms. Paxton can move on along with everybody else?
I think my request on that would be, we've created the overlay now to try to solve a problem that was introduced by council at the last hearing and is now no longer a problem, but it's still probably the best planning tool to do. My strong recommendation is that if council is in favor of these programs, then my strong recommendation would be adopt the text amendment today. If you want to pull out RSF 6 district descriptions, pull out the RSF 6 district descriptions, if that's your calling. Leave in the traditional districts. Allow the text amendment, which calls for the overlay map to be established. Leave that in so that folks know by this vote that we are going to be putting out signage talking about an affordable housing overlay, and it's in direct relation to the text amendment that City Council is considering today, and that when it comes back to Council for first and second read, we know the basis of it. We understand the text amendment. Staff has done, staff from MPC, staff from the city, staff from the petitioner has done an immense amount of work with our communities. Our communities have done an immense amount of work. And so there's no reason why we can't wait to do this, except that it's just waiting to do it. And I think that there's not much that's going to change other than things getting smaller and shrinking and the problem becoming more and more complex to solve. So my strong recommendation is this is essentially the proposal that we brought in November, except it excludes neighborhoods that brought significant opposition to being included at this time. It only includes neighborhoods that have expressed the desire to be a part of this program. And so where we have support and where we find, let's kind of take what the defense gives us on doing something that's going to be meaningful for our housing goals. And this specific housing bonus program was in the 2021 Savannah Housing Action Plan that the council adopted as well. These were specific policy programs within those action plans, and we're trying to get through them. And I think that let's not let perfect be the enemy of the good when the good can really start to help some folks.
Mr. Melder, I understand completely everything you're saying, but since sitting up here for almost 5 years, it's always hurry up and wait, and then a year later, something like this comes back up, that we push something out. When they made that presentation, I know a lot of work goes into it, so you probably already got a map. Got a map. Okay, so why didn't she present that then so Ms. Paxton could have gotten an answer when she was up here asking for that?
Because we have to notice the map. We have to notice the map. So the map has to, when it came, it was just a text amendment, right? We needed to be able, and again, I want to understand the kind of the cause and effect of how we change proposals between readings and trying to bake in your feedback. At first, we were able to accomplish what we thought we wanted to accomplish with a text amendment only. By specifically doing a text amendment for traditional districts only, which only appear in a certain part of town, in the urban core of the city, right? And so making a text amendment to those districts localized that this program, the density program, to just the traditional neighborhood and traditional commercial districts, which only exist really around the epicenter of Forsyth Park, right? What we heard in November was that there were some communities within the TC and TN zones that didn't want to be a part of this. And I heard from council that we don't want them to be a part of it. We don't want to, we don't want to upset the apple cart there. So those specific neighborhoods being Carver Village and being Kyler Brownsville, right? We also heard in November that we wanted to expand and allow for other parts of the community to take advantage of the density program, specifically Hudson Hill and Clearview. So Hudson Hill and Clearview is a residential single-family 6 zone. There are residential single-family 6 zones all across the city, in places where maybe the density program isn't quite appropriate right now. So in order to lift that district up and be able to include it in the proposal, we needed to add an additional layer to the program, which is an overlay map, which sets forth the geographic area, and then the text amendment defines within that geographic area, here's which zones can participate, and here's how those zones can participate, right? So we think that, the affordable housing overlay district will help us achieve other zoning-related housing goals, like inclusionary zoning. So we think it's probably an important thing to include. But we want to be able to pass the text amendment, my recommendation is that council pass this text amendment today. If you want to exclude RSF 6, do so. Keep the others there in the text amendment, and then we will notice, beginning tomorrow, the affordable housing district overlay, and be able to, once the notice period has been achieved, we will bring that back to council for hearings and for a vote to adopt, which will further define exactly which districts we're talking are eligible. And right now, those districts, if you refer to my memo sent last week and sent again this Tuesday, I will tell you exactly which neighborhoods we propose are included in the proposed affordable housing overlay. Those neighborhoods are the East Victorian District, the West Victorian District, Thomas Square, Metropolitan, a small section of Live Oak. Live Oak is not all traditional zones, so a small section, the northwest corner of Live Oak neighborhood. And we currently have Hudson Hill Bayview, which is our only RSF 6 zone neighborhood within the map. And if we want to take that out, we can certainly take that out, and it will not be included in our proposed map as we bring it for council for a hearing and a vote in the coming weeks.
Okay, so to close with, right, I deferred to the alderman from the 1st District. All I want to note is that whatever comes out of this, if somebody from the 3rd District says that they're not getting the same thing that was not given to them, but they got in the 1st District, then I will be very vocal about that. That part is what I'm saying.
And the beauty of this and the beauty of the map actually is that council can decide to include more areas of the city into this density program.
I thought the map was going to already include parts of the city. So.
It will. The map will, but it will be very specific. But in the future, that's why I'm saying let's start where we can start.
Okay, so just
Let's
one
start
question
where
and
we
then I'll
can
be
start.
finished. I promise you.
Yeah.
You starting out already with the Victorian and the, what else did you say? Live Oak. And
Victorian Districts, Thomas Square,
Square.
Metropolitan, Live Oak. Parts of Live Oak.
And so you're saying that there are no TS6 anywhere but specific to the 1st District that your planner is saying exists in this whole city?
No.
That's what I'm trying to get.
What I'm
Because
trying to
you
say
just
is
named
that
off a few.
we are trying to operate based on the feedback of council. And in November, in
Well,
this room, when we had the hearing, the feedback was given to staff and to me specifically
That we wanted to
for us to
include
do
more
more
people.
community engagement.
That's right.
For us to listen
not
to
what I'm
our
questioning.
communities.
I'm questioning
and
the
for
map.
us to and for us to include the communities which want to be included. And at
I'm
that
not
time, it was
questioning that. I agree
specifically
with
said.
everything you said.
Okay.
The question I have is, nobody asked me, I don't know about the other ones, about what specific is going on in my district as it applies to number 6. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Because
we
you're
asked in
saying that.
November.
You asked in November for what?
When we were
During
here
the
in
public
this
hearing, the city manager asked if there were concerns or issues that he wanted him to address. Council had the opportunity to
Okay,
contact
and that's
him
what I'm
about it.
saying. I still have a concern. She's going to do whatever she needs to do, but my concern is this overlay map that you have, surely there is some things in the 3rd District that needed to be added. And so I'm saying.
Today we're doing a text amendment.
Okay, I know that, and I get that, but I want to ask these questions because it's applicable to what and who I serve. And so I'm saying, move on, do whatever you want to do, but when we give you 2 weeks, it's never enough time. It's
Well,
never enough
yeah.
time.
Alderwoman, I'll
But
say that I
we always
think
push
that-
2 weeks to answer anything that, if I sign my name on it, it's going to last forever and ever. So I'm telling you right now, 2 weeks is never enough time to iron all this stuff out. I usually move fast, and I
Yeah,
just
and
wanted to
that's
voice
why
that.
I think that the kind of the elegance of what we're trying to achieve now is a program that can grow over time.
Okay.
Right? So
I
that
agree with that.
we don't have to get everything and decide citywide what the right approach is for every single zoning district in every single neighborhood, but that we can start where we know it's going to work and work well. And
Always
that
targeting areas.
as we move
Yeah.
move forward and we identify other neighborhoods and other districts where we want to be able to include these programs, then we can amend the text amendment and we can amend the map to include it.
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Alderwoman Miller Blakely.
Let me go first. Alderwoman Lanier, moving, the meetings and everything that you had yesterday, moving forward with this text amendment today is not in conflict with what you all want to do, right?
Absolutely, it is.
No, I'm saying you don't have, since this is specific to the neighborhoods that he mentioned, are you okay with us going on and approving this and you guys
This
coming
language,
later?
if they decide to become a part of the map or the overlay, the affordable housing overlay, they will be subject to this text. And that's what they had a problem with, this text, and not agreeing with everything in this text. So they will not be opting to be in the overlay later because it'll be subject to what's being spelled out right here.
My recommendation on that is to, if council is comfortable with moving forward with the text amendment as it reads for the traditional zones and not the RSF 6 zone, which is really specific to Hudson and Clearview, is to move to adopt the zoning text amendment with the direction that the section around the RSF 6 districts be removed.
Mr. Mayor.
Are you okay with that?
I think that'll work. I think that's what I was saying, just pull out R6, but I still had a little concern about the language. You got to know that if they put the affordable housing overlay in your area, and it could be a good thing because it'll deal with the duplexes, but it'll say that, of course, they could subdivide a lot that would be smaller than what your district called for, and it'll be a smaller setback. Then, if you wanted to do your duplex, and you brought your 100 grand to the table to do yours, you would have to make it affordable. If you went to the Affordable Housing Fund, then that should happen. It's for 15 years, it should stay affordable. But if you're using your private fund, and that was another point that was made about what's being presented, whether you're using incentivized money, government money, the Affordable Housing Fund money, then you should be subject to this. But if you're losing your own money out of your pocket, this saying that you still got to be subject to this when you should not. And that's another problem that I had with the text.
Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In reference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mr. City Manager, earlier you said that you had a map, and I would just like to know, are you referencing the map on page 229 of 352, or was there another map that I might not have seen?
I'm referencing the map that was included in the memo that I sent to council last Thursday and again this Tuesday. It's the memo entitled additional, I sent it in the Tuesday night memo. I also sent it last Thursday, and the title of that memo, if I can get to it.
Okay, I did not see it. You don't have to go through
Zoning
that.
text amendment to
Mr.
support
Massey, can I
affordable
get a
housing.
copy of it? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. When this originally came to us in a workshop and with Ms. Paxton being here, and then there was an item that showed up on the agenda. I heard the conversation all today, and one of the neighborhoods that you all did not mention on today that was originally being talked about was Can Jackson Park. And I raised my hand in a negative for this because my constituents clearly was asking me to not vote and move forward with what was being said at that time. So I've been told by the city manager that with this new text amendment, and it's sounding like we might need to do something, but I'm hearing the mayor saying we've got to move forward on this today. My question, and I want my constituents to hear it loud and clear, Mr. City Manager, that my question is, are there any neighborhoods in the 5th District that is going to be subject to this text amendment and in reference to an overlay, and probably in the near future, because a lot of my neighborhoods are traditionally residential, single-family tradition neighborhoods, and been laid out that way. And as we move forward, they are definitely being laid out as single families in my new developments that's happening over on the west. So my question is, again, as we are here today, are any of my neighborhoods in the 5th District is going to be subject to this text amendment or that overlay that you all are talking about in the near future?
The ordinance vehicle that would define which neighborhoods would be included is the proposed affordable housing overlay, which is going to come next. The text amendment mentions no neighborhoods. It only mentions districts, but where the districts, the map will define where geographically in the city, if those districts exist within that map, where this program would be eligible. In the proposed map that I sent to City Council and the 2 memos that I've mentioned earlier, there are no 5th District neighborhoods included in that map. We have removed the Jackson Park neighborhoods based on the feedback that was given in November.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And my constituents are very, very pleased with me standing up for them and fighting for them not to be included. But I'm hearing this conversation here with Alderwoman Lanier in reference to if a private citizen or a company, whoever owns the property, if they bring their money to the table, their own money to the table, then how can we not subject them to this text amendment and then further on to the overlay? Or if someone is using monies from the city, from loans and things of that nature, how can that work?
Yeah. So you're tackling a different but related policy question. So, and it's not a bad one to tackle, but it's 2 different things. So when we were asked by council to tackle this is specifically around affordable housing and how do we produce a more affordable housing. This is a tool that is used in numerous places to allow greater density, to allow for affordable housing. If City Council wanted to adopt just broadly that we don't necessarily want to restrict this kind of density bonus to only quote unquote definable affordable housing as the city would define it, but we want to allow property owners and homeowners to develop additional units that don't have that covenant of affordability or the restriction of affordability to be attached to it, because we think we'll produce more units of housing that way, right? And by producing more units of housing, we're going to be increasing the supply and the diversity of housing, and this, the demand for housing is going to lessen because we've increased the supply. Basic economics, right? That is a fine approach. You can remove the affordability components of this program and allow the density bonuses to be there based on the zoning. The only thing we would change is that they would be, subject to the city's approval that they are producing an affordable housing unit. But that's a different policy question, and it's a fine one to ask. But that's then it's really not an affordable housing density bonus program. It's a housing inventory density bonus program, right? Which is also you can look at it 2 different ways, but it's a very good question. That question was raised during the Metropolitan Planning Commission approval of this back in the fall of 2024 by one of the commissioners. It was discussed. Ultimately, the commission themselves recommended to move forward with the affordability program being a part of this regime on this ordinance. But it is a very good question, and I think one that we should consider in the future.
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
All right, I think we went here. Go ahead, and then we can't, all I'm gonna say is this. We're gonna do something. You can't complain about housing affordability and then don't do the things that help create affordability. And so, whatever that is, I do know that we've all heard and continue to hear in neighborhoods across the city that housing prices remain unaffordable, and they're getting more unaffordable. Our Housing Savannah Task Force, which Council adopted, said that as well, and it prescribed some avenues by which we could do this, which the city manager is presenting to us. And so, you know, it's time to move. Alderman Palumbo.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate this discussion dearly. I do. And for the first time in a long time, I think we are way overthinking this thing. So let me give something a shot. This has been a heavy, tense discussion that's gone on from November. We punted in February, March. We punted the last meeting, and we're finally here where we have to make a decision. And I will make I'll make a motion for a vote, and we can vote it up or down, and that's okay. I'm not here to judge anybody based on your vote. I think the package is good as is. I don't think it goes far enough, and I think it's been diluted, but that's okay. I'm willing to take a little bit so that we can amend it later. But let me try this. The city of Savannah is a great big family, and it's hosting a Low Country Boil, right? We're inviting everybody to the mayor's table to come and eat. We prepared enough food for 20 people, but 30 people showed up. So we have a decision. We can either cook more food for the people that showed up, or we can charge more for the food that we have. I think that we should cook more food. And I think we're trying to. We've tried to cook a little more with accessory dwelling units. We got 44 more ingredients there over the last couple of years, which is not much, but it's 44 units. We're debating today whether the corn, a couple of husks of corn that we add in are GMO certified or organic, or where we source the salt from. And that's okay. For some people, that's a really big deal. That is a really big deal, and we should be mindful of the decisions that we make and the ingredients that we add to the Low Country Boil. But I know for right now, for the constituents of the 4th, the people that I represent, the city that we all serve, there are hungry people out there that need to eat. And we are breaking the system that we have by not serving and amending and fixing the problems that were created in the 1940s when we changed our zoning code. We know that we can do better. Well, thank you. We know that we can do better. So I know this one doesn't go far enough. This is some kind of hybrid corn, maybe Silver Queen corn that we're throwing in, a different ingredient. But we need to throw it into the pot. And I hope that we throw more in. And I will ask you, while we have it on the record, Mr. City Manager, I remain open and available. If nobody else wants to do it, we'll do it in the 4th District. I'll work with the neighborhoods to find out where it is. And my ultimate dream, that if there was a duplex there at one time, there can be a duplex there today. If there was a quadplex there at one time, there can be a quadplex there today. The world didn't end when the neighborhoods were built. They won't end when we do it again today. And I know that people are going to be uncomfortable with it. But we're going to have a choice whether we can spread the love all throughout the city of Savannah and feed a whole lot of people, right? Or we can have massive developments, hunting and pecking throughout our community that are painful. They are painful. No matter where they're put, they are painful.
Amen.
And I'd rather share the burden with all of us with a beautiful, walkable, dense place that we know and call and love home, that millions of people the world over come and see and visit. So, okay, you can say, oh boy. You can say, oh boy.
Alderwoman now.
But
I know.
But hey, you know what? I've read the agenda item. I looked at the packet. I read the 2 memos from the city manager. And I'm ready to make a motion for approval for number 17, a joint petition of Bridget Liddy on behalf of the mayor and aldermen of the city of Savannah,
Mayor, I'd like to
Jordan
make
and Brianna Paxton.
a substitute motion. A substitute motion.
1 second. It's been properly moved and seconded. There is, I recognize Alderwoman Lanier for a substitute motion.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, I'd like to make a motion to go forward with the petition of Ms. Paxton with the removal of the R6 consideration.
Second.
All right, we'll vote on the first one first. This is Alderwoman Lanier, that we approve item number 17, removing the R6 elements.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion passes 7-2. Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you.
All right.
Purchasing.
But again, I'm gonna go back. We can't complain about not having affordable housing if we're not willing to take the big, bold moves it's gonna take to get us there. I mean, because every year we hear, oh, it's too expensive, it's expensive. I mean, we have to create it, and it happens by density. So, and density has to be citywide.
Yep, we'll take it in the
It has to be
sixth.
citywide. It has to be citywide. But anyway, moving on. On purchasing items number 18 through 25. Ms. Paxton, thank you very much. 18 and 25.
Mr. Mayor?
Any
I'd
pullouts?
like to make, yes, sir. There's number 18 I would like to pull out. And let's see here. Number 18 and number 25, I personally like to pull out. If there are no more pullouts, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of items number 19 through 24. Second.
Properly moved and seconded that we approve items number 19, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for 2 X-ray machines systems from Logos Imaging in the amount of $86,281. Item number 20, authorize city manager to execute a contract for third-party administrative services with Gallagher Bassett Services in the amount not to exceed $292,341. Item number 21, authorize city manager to execute contract modification for number 1 for HVAC maintenance for water treatment facilities to Boeing Mechanical Local in the amount not to exceed $120,000. Item number 22, authorize the city manager to execute a contract for supervisory control and data acquisition with Emerson Power and Water Solutions in the amount not to exceed $103,924. Item number 23, authorize city manager to execute a contract for computer replacement and new purchases from Dell Marketing LP in the amount not to exceed $1,067,000. Item number 24, authorize city manager to execute a contract for Smartsheet Enterprise software licenses from Smartsheet in the amount not to exceed $214,414. You've heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 18,
Thank you.
authorize the city manager to execute a contract for West Victory Drive medians irrigation and planting with Tidewater Landscape Management Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $272,385. This is for irrigation installation equipment along West Victory Drive from MLK to Ageechee Road. Alderwoman Shabazz.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for.
Stop one second.
I'd like to speak on that one, too.
Okay.
After she finishes.
Sure.
I would like to say, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that. I would like to just highlight this long time coming maintenance between MLK and Ogeechee Road on Victory Drive. Most times we have been somewhat neglected in having our median in that section maintained. So I just want to thank the city manager, and this is just highlighting what we are doing. I see our park and tree director back there shaking his head. Thank you so much for this, and just shining a great big light on this section. Mr. City Manager, can you just go into just a little detail for our residents, letting them know exactly what we're getting ready to do in that section?
Certainly. Yes, ma'am. So this is a contract for medians and irrigations and planting with Tidewater Landscape Management for our Park and Tree Department, and this is specifically for West Victory Drive from Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard to Ageechee Road. This contract will be used by Park and Tree for the installation of landscape and irrigation to include new turf on the median end caps and alternating those caps with palms, with dwarf azaleas, with Georgia petite hawthorns.
I'm talking about.
Palm trees and other shrubbery. And these improvements will enhance West Victory Drive and create beautiful medians. I did not read the registered names of these plants because evidently they were created with care by some wonderful horticulturalist somewhere. But just know that Encore Autumn Ember Dwarf Azaleas are coming soon to West Victory Drive.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I'd like to make the motion after Alderwoman Bell is finished.
All right, let me just add, I'm sure Alderwoman Lanier would want me to mention that she shares West Victory Drive for you on the other side. So
Yes, we do.
It's the 1st and the 5th.
And the 5th.
Alderwoman Bell.
Just echoing the sentiments that were made, I am very appreciative to Park and Tree as well for the work that you're doing, particularly on that neglected area of Victory Drive. So we're looking forward to that. And also, I'm happy to see some of the other areas scattered around town that you guys, that Park and Tree is working in. Now, I hope you make it to Broughton Street pretty soon.
They're on Broughton Street this week.
Oh,
ma'am.
praise God.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, in our end caps, right?
That's right.
Referencing what Alderwoman Carol Bell just said, I hope, and I truly appreciate what you all are doing on that median area, but I would love to see the Middle Ground Road median taken care of better than it is right now. It is in dire straits, and we do need some assistance. Also, Abercorn Street, over by Oglethorpe Mall, we got to do better. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the floor?
Yes, there is a motion. And to add to what Alderwoman Blakely was saying, and those specific areas are from Abercorn to
Montgomery Crossroads.
to Montgomery, well, go down to Tibet. Going down to Tibet, Abercorn, from DeRen.
Go all the way down to Middle Ground.
That's
Ladies and gentlemen, you all can have whatever you're willing to allocate money towards.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
So
Yeah,
we
there
need
is
to
a
allocate
motion.
money to
But
one.
those medians.
Is there a motion?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
Is there a
Second, so moved,
Properly
second, all
moved
of
and
that.
seconded.
I am making that motion.
Ma'am, it's been
I
made.
am making that motion, and for the record,
Alderwoman, then make the motion, please.
but these
Alderwoman,
medians have been
please.
neglected
There's-
forever.
It's been properly
Years.
moved and
seconded.
seconded.
I didn't want to go there, but I'm glad you went
Well,
there.
been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? Motion passes. I remind council, again, we have a budget process each year. And so whatever it is that you want, that you're willing to allocate funds towards, he will execute what we allocate funds toward.
Well, the good thing about this right here,
So-
I've been sitting here for a while, for some years, and these sections that we're talking about on the south side has been neglected.
Well, it's been
So I'm
done.
just- I'm
This is on-
speaking
this-
up.
This is on the west side. This is done. So thank you very much. Item number 25, authorize city manager executed contract for a geographic information system assessment and roadmap with Wilpert in the amount of $100,161. It's a roadmap project that is critical investment in modernizing, optimizing the city's GIS system. Alderwoman Shabazz.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. Again, I wanted to highlight the great work that our GIS system has been doing in the past, and with this particular item, we are going to be moving forward even more with modernizing our GIS system. And Mr. City Manager, just one more time, if you can just give to our public what exactly we are doing here.
Yes, ma'am. So GIS is a very important program for decision-making, for innovation, for transparency. I know a lot of people use SAGIS, which is our GIS program and platform, which is open to the public for use. We use our SAGIS programming and GIS to map when streets are closing for emergencies or in heavy rain events or hurricanes or from the winter storm. But we know that there's a lot of different needs for this GIS, and this contract is going to help us identify that framework for GIS in the future so that our work can be even more transparent and we can be even better informed by data, especially spatial data, as it relates to the city of Savannah and our projects.
Thank you so much. I would like to make a motion that we approve this item as it is written.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 42 and 43, which is settlements under city attorney.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move to authorize the city attorney's office to resolve the claims of Galen Parker for the amount of $211,401. And items number 43, I make a motion to move to authorize the city attorney's office to resolve the claim of Lawrence Harris for $50,000.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we authorize the city attorney's office to resolve the claim of Graylin Parker in the amount of $211,401. And item number 43, to authorize city attorney's office to resolve the claim of Lawrence Harris for $50,000. Heard the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That ends our agenda. Let me remind everyone, tomorrow is a very special day in our city. At 1 o'clock, we will be renaming Hartridge Street at East Broad Street at Hartridge, after the late, great Pastor Matthew Southall Brown Sr.
Yes.
This has been a very long and very challenging road. I thank Alderman Leggett for working with us to get this done. Also, Joe Sherhouse, also our marketing and public communications team. Thank you. Marty Johnston, thank you for working with us to find a way around obstacles for us to honor Savannah's pastor. And we will be able to do that, and we're inviting our entire community to come out. Certainly grateful to the Brown family for their patience and perseverance. Also, I want to thank our Office of Public Communications and our police and fire chiefs. Yesterday, at the, was it yesterday or Monday? Tuesday. Working with the Second Harvest Food Bank and Amazon, we were able to secure a opportunity for us to have emergency food supplies that are in our police vehicles and fire apparatus. We lead with compassion, and so there was an opportunity for me to be able to work with Amazon for them to donate in a big way, and they did that. So I'm grateful to Amazon, grateful to Second Harvest Food Bank. Mrs. Manager, thank you, and to our chiefs and teams that are helping us to make sure that we meet people where they are. Any other announcements? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I wanted to offer condolences to everybody in the city that lost a loved one. But I want to lift up the name of Wesley Crenshaw.
Yes.
And also, I want to give a special, his funeral will be next week.
Yeah.
Wesley Crenshaw.
Do you know when?
Oh, yes.
You know the date and when?
It'll be next Saturday at Holy Spirit Lutheran Church. And also, we want to give a special birthday shout out to Mama Johnson, Van Johnson's mom.
Yes.
On yesterday, but
she's outside somewhere. I don't know where she at.
But definitely, we want to raise up the lives and spirit of everybody who lost a loved one. Also, Alderwoman Lanier's uncle.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we offer our condolences as well, Alderwoman Lanier. Also to the family of Reverend Franklin Blackshear, who passed away as well yesterday, I believe. So, anyone else? Anything else?
Oh, yes, Mr. Mayor. Well, it's taking me off. Yes, sir. I would like to make an announcement in reference to the fabulous 5th District cleanup. We will be having, and everybody get ready, our first date for our May-June cleanup will be on May the 30th through June the 1st, and then the next week, June 6th through June the 8th, and that's the fabulous 5th District cleanup. Please get your yard waste, your tires, your bulk items that you just need to discard. We'll have the containers there at the old Fairgrounds property, now the Legacy property on Medding Street. Also, I would like to remind everyone to please join us out in the 5th District on this coming Saturday on March the 9th starting at 9 o'clock a.m. for the Great Savannah Cleanup, which is the 4th annual Greek and Civic Cleanup. The Divine Nine will be out there to help us to clean our area this time. We're going to start at the Liberty City Community Center at 9 o'clock p.m. with all of the Divine Nine members coming to help us to clean our area this time. So we look forward for that to take place. And everyone, please come out and help. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I just want to give shots out to Marissa Bird. She opened up a clothing store on Skidaway. The mayor and Van Dietrich were at the ribbon cutting. Buy local.
Anyone else?
Oh, Mr. Mayor, I need to make another announcement.
Yes.
The Entrepreneurs Academy, our city of Savannah really go out of its way to make ready those who have an idea, or those who are in business, or who are entrepreneurs. Through our Entrepreneur Center, starting on this evening, the first set of 10 parts of Foundations of Business series will be kicking off on this evening and will be held every Thursday night between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. Now, please get in contact with our Entrepreneur Center, with the City of Savannah. The best thing about this always, these classes are free of charge. The city is not charging anyone who would like to attend the Entrepreneur Academy. So please, starting tonight at 6:30, and I do believe that these are in-person classes on every Thursday night, starting with the first 10-part session tonight. So please, everyone, get involved, and let's continue to grow our wealth in our community. Thank you.
Mayor Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to thank our staff for the good work they did with the St. Patrick's Day. It was awesome. Thank you all. Everybody from the beginning to the end. We had a lot of fun.
And it was a monumental achievement, and again, the numbers speak for themselves. So thank you all for the work that you've done.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. I'd like to let the community know that there's going to be an expungement of criminal records at the Savannah Mall Library on Friday from 11 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. It's where the new mall, to some people here in Savannah, is located. Also, April 1st is the deadline to apply for any of the exemptions for your property taxes, for Stevens Day and what have you. Please, please, please get that paperwork in before the 1st of April. Also, on Saturday night, Savannah State will be having its annual fundraising gala. Ask that if you don't have a ticket, to purchase a ticket to support our HBCU in our city. $225. It's just a drop in the bucket for some people. That's it, Mayor Johnson. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Clerk, do you have anything? I want to thank our clerk. Actually, I'll send you all the picture. He actually. I'm black, so
Picture too?
is Mr. Armistead Lafayette. What was his first name? Was William? James Armistead Lafayette. He was a method actor, and so I'll send you all the picture. But he did a magnificent job as we celebrated the 200th anniversary of Lafayette's last visit to Savannah. So.
Wearing all those hats.
Well, and you have a career after being clerk, so thank you. Mr. Attorney, you have anything? Okay, Mr. Manager, you have anything? All right, ladies and gentlemen, eat your cookies.
Yo.
We out.
Non-caloric cookies.